Why does money always seem to bring so much pressure? It's almost like every corner we turn, there's another bill, another expense, or another unexpected challenge waiting to shake our confidence. Why does it feel like money is constantly slipping through our fingers, leaving us overwhelmed and discouraged? And here's the big question. Can faith really help in a world that feels so financially unstable? If you've ever felt trapped in the endless cycle of financial stress, you're not alone. Today, we're going to uncover how trusting God with your finances can turn your struggles into stability. Let's get into it and discover the faith-filled steps to find peace and freedom in your financial life. Why money problems are about more than money. Here's something to think about. Money isn't just about dollars and cents. It's tied to our sense of security, identity, and even self-worth. When finances are tight, it can feel like everything else in life starts to unravel. Relationships get strained. Decisions become harder. Even our health can take a hit from all the stress. But the truth is, financial struggles are often rooted in something deeper than just numbers. It's about fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing control, and fear of what the future might hold. Here's where faith steps in. God tells us over and over in His Word that we don't have to live in fear. In 2 Timothy 1-7 it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." When we start to see our financial situation through the lens of faith, that fear begins to lose its grip. The power of trusting God. Let's be honest, trusting God with your finances isn't always easy. It's one thing to trust Him in general, but when it comes to money, that's a whole different level. Why? Because money represents control. We think, if I can just save enough, earn enough, or plan enough, I'll be secure. But what happens when the unexpected hits? When medical bills pile up, jobs get cut, or inflation makes everything more expensive, we're reminded of just how little control we actually have. Trusting God with your finances means shifting that mindset. It's saying, "God, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that you do." Proverbs 3-5-6 puts it perfectly. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." Surrendering control. This part is tough, surrendering control. But here's the thing, letting go doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're letting God take the lead. And honestly, who better to trust with your finances than the one who created the universe? Think about it. God already knows what you need before you even ask. Matthew 6-8 says, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him." So why not trust Him? Surrendering control is freeing because it takes the pressure off you to figure it all out on your own. Faith in action. Faith isn't passive. It's not just sitting back and waiting for God to magically fix everything. Faith requires action. James 2:26 says, "Faith without works is dead." So what does that look like when it comes to your finances? It starts with small practical steps. Create a budget. It might sound basic, but it's one of the most powerful tools for taking control of your money. A budget isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. It helps you prioritize what truly matters and align your spending with your values. Then there's tithing. This is a big one, especially when money is tight. But tithing is an act of trust. It's saying, "God, I believe you are my provider, not my paycheck." Malachi 3:10 challenges us to bring our tithes to God and test Him, promising that He will pour out blessings when we trust Him in this way. Breaking the chains of debt. Debt is one of the biggest sources of financial stress. It can feel like you're carrying a weight that gets heavier with every passing day. But here's the good news. God's plan for your finances is one of freedom, not bondage. Start by facing your debt head-on. List everything you owe. It might feel overwhelming at first, but acknowledging it is the first step toward freedom. Once you know where you stand, create a plan to tackle it. Focus on one debt at a time, whether it's the smallest balance or the one with the highest interest rate. And don't forget, God is with you in this process. He gives strength when you feel weak and opens doors you didn't even know were there. Philippians 4:13 reminds us, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Trusting God in times of uncertainty. Life is unpredictable. Job losses, medical emergencies, and economic downturns can shake even the strongest of us. But here's the thing, God is never surprised. He already knows every twist and turn your life will take. Jeremiah 29:11 is a verse many of us know, but it's worth repeating. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Trusting God means believing that He has a good plan for your life, even when things feel uncertain. Real life stories of faith and finances. Let's talk about real people who've trusted God with their finances and seen Him move in amazing ways. Take Emily. She was drowning in credit card debt and felt like she'd never get ahead. But when she started tithing faithfully and praying over her finances, she saw doors open. She found a better job, received unexpected refunds, and paid off her debt in record time. Or consider Marcus, who lost his business during an economic downturn. Instead of giving up, he trusted God and sought His guidance. Within a year, Marcus started a new business that not only thrived but also allowed him to give back to his community in ways he never imagined. These stories are a reminder that God is faithful. When we trust Him, He provides in ways we can't even begin to imagine. Shifting your perspective. One of the biggest changes that happens when you trust God with your finances is a shift in perspective. Money stops being something to fear or worship. Instead, it becomes a tool for doing good and fulfilling God's purposes. Matthew 6:21 says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." When your heart is focused on God, money takes its proper place in your life, not as something that controls you, but as something you use to bless others. Building a legacy of faith. When you manage your finances with faith, you're not just changing your own life, you're impacting future generations. Your faith can inspire your children, your friends, and even your community to trust God in their own financial journeys. Imagine the ripple effect of living a life of financial peace and generosity. By placing God at the center of your finances, you're creating a legacy that will last far beyond your lifetime. Trusting God is a daily choice. Here's the thing, trusting God with your finances isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily choice. Every day, you have the opportunity to say, "God, I trust you. I'm putting my finances in your hands." Some days will be easier than others. But every time you choose faith over fear, you're growing closer to God and stepping into the abundant life He has for you. If this message has inspired you, don't let it end here. Share this video with someone who needs encouragement and subscribe to Soulful Success for more content that uplifts and empowers. Let's build a community of people who trust God, live generously, and walk in financial freedom. You've got this, and God's got you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.